The evening began with laughter, soft music, and the pleasant scent of fine wine drifting through the air. My husband, Daniel, and I had invited a small group of friends and a few of my coworkers for dinner. The mood was warm, the food delicious, and the conversation easy, filled with playful teasing and half-truths that made everyone smile. I'd had enough to drink to feel bold. Maybe a little too bold. When someone asked how long Daniel and I had been married, I grinned and said, 77 years. Maybe it's time I upgrade to a newer model. The room burst into laughter. Everyone, that is, except Daniel. At first, I didn't notice. I was too busy soaking up the attention, laughing with the others as they joked along. One friend teased, "Careful, Daniel, she might actually trade you in." I chuckled and added, "Maybe I'll find one who actually listens." The laughter grew louder, but Daniel stayed silent, his expression unreadable, his eyes fixed on his plate. I brushed it off, thinking he was just being sensitive. Couples joke like that all the time, don't they? I figured he'd forget about it by morning. I couldn't have been more wrong. As dinner went on, the laughter felt forced, the air heavier. Every time I tried to lighten the mood, Daniel's eyes met mine, calm, cold, unwavering. By dessert, one of my colleagues tried to ease the tension with a nervous laugh. "So, Daniel," they said, "you gonna let her replace you?" Daniel set his fork down slowly, lifted his head, and gave a small smile, one that didn't reach his eyes. "No," he said softly. "I don't think she'll have to." The room went silent. My pulse quickened. "What do you mean?" I asked, my voice trembling. His tone was steady, but every word hit like a blade. "If she wants a new husband, she doesn't have to look far. She's already been spending plenty of time with Mark from accounting." The laughter died completely. My chest tightened, my throat dry. "Daniel," I whispered, but he didn't stop. "I've seen the messages. The late-night calls. The meetings that somehow never show up on your calendar. Maybe I'm the fool for thinking I still had a wife." No one spoke. My colleagues shifted awkwardly, setting down their glasses and staring at the table. Heat burned through me, shame, panic, disbelief all at once. "Daniel, please," I murmured. He looked at me then, eyes filled with pain restrained by control. "You wanted to make a joke," he said. "I just thought I'd finish it for you." His voice was quiet, but it shattered everything. The ticking of the clock filled the silence that followed. I tried to explain, to tell him it wasn't like that, but he cut me off with a faint, bitter smile. "You're right," he said. "It's never like that until it is." I sat frozen, trembling, surrounded by people who couldn't meet my eyes. The laughter that had once felt harmless now echoed in my head, cruel and empty. Daniel stood, straightened his jacket, and placed his napkin neatly on the table. "You always wanted the last word, Emma," he said quietly. "Now you have it." Then he turned and walked out, leaving behind a room full of silence and shock. My chest felt hollow. My laughter, once effortless, now sounded like a haunting memory I couldn't escape. After what felt like forever, someone finally asked, "Emma, was he serious?" But I couldn't answer. I couldn't even breathe through the shame pressing down on me. In that moment, I saw myself clearly, careless, arrogant, and blind to the man who once adored me. I hadn't just embarrassed him. I had destroyed something irreplaceable. When I returned home, the house was unbearably quiet. His side of the closet was empty. On the kitchen counter sat a note, only 3 words long. "Enjoy the upgrade." That was when everything inside me broke. I sank to the floor, tears spilling freely, my own words echoing back like poison. The jokes I thought were harmless had revealed something real, my cruelty, my distance, my fear. Months have passed since that night. Sometimes I see him from afar, lighter somehow, free of the weight I gave him. People still tell me it was just a joke. I smile faintly, because I know better. Some jokes don't fade with laughter, they leave scars. That night, in trying to be funny, I didn't just lose a laugh. I lost the only person who truly loved me, and the silence he left behind was louder than anything I've ever heard.